Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to the latest episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. This will be a pre-recorded episode as I'm traveling to Las Vegas, and hopefully when you are watching this I landed safely in Vegas. I hate flying, but the good thing is they offer liquor on the plane, so this will help me a lot to calm down my nerves. I'll be in Vegas to pick up some records and I'm really excited about it. Still trying to figure out how to get all the records back home, but I will find a way. So this is the least problem to work out. Anyway, I get very often asked, Nadine, what kind of record do I need to have in my soul and disco collection? What is a must-have record? And honestly, this is a very tough question because there might be one record I think is absolutely great and you say, oh, it's an awful record, it's horrible. So that's a very, very difficult thing. But I thought about it, and in my opinion, there's one group where you should have a record. And this group is Inner Life. So this week we'll be featuring Inner Life. Inner Life was a kind of project group, and the members of the groups were Greg Carmichael, the great Jocelyn Brown, Leroy Jackson, Patrick Adam, and Stan Lucas, well, I couldn't find a picture of. So these people were pretty much Inner Life, and their music aged tremendously well. And that was because of the people who were also involved in the mixing of the records. In 1979, they released their first album, which was called I'm Caught Up in a One-Night Love Affair on Prelude. And no one else as John Morales were doing the mixing for the tracks. And I'm Caught Up became an instant hit. There were always a kind of controversy about the cover of the record because a couple of years ago people thought that the woman who was portrayed on the cover was actually the person who sang, which is not the case. It had always been the great Jocelyn Brown, one of the most sampled voices in house music. So she was not on the cover. And actually, this was a very common thing in the 70s to do, to put models or graphics or some other stuff on the record covers. So no big deal about that. The album I want to talk about a little deeper today is their second album, which was just called Inner Life, and here it is. I mean, look at this cover. It came out in 1981 and it's just a typical classical 80s cover. It was released on Salso. What makes this record so special? If you're into house music, if you're into electronic dance music, Frankie Knuckles or Larry Levan should ring a bell. Larry Levan was one of the best, greatest DJs who ever graced this planet. And he did the unthinkable. Frankie Knuckles, who's also a very famous DJ, once quoted, we had an uncommon rule as DJs, never touch perfect songs. And we as DJs thought that Diana Ross' 1970 version of Ain't No Mountain High Enough was the ultimate version. So it was quite common, don't touch that song. And Larry Levan, together with Jocelyn Brown, touched that song. And honestly, they put that song on a whole new level. I can't imagine what it must have been to listen to this version of the song with the state-of-the-art sound system at Paradise Garage, where Larry Levan was a resident DJ. What it must have been spiritual. So you find that version of that song on this record. What you see here is the Netherlands version of that record from 1982. Like I said, this is the front and this is the back. And let's have a listen. I do hope that YouTube is not blocking so much songs, so I'm trying to include as many as possible from this record. But I think let's have a listen first. So, Ain't No Mountain High Enough was produced and arranged by Patrick Adams. He's quite known, and if you have seen last week's episode, there he's also mentioned, and also Greg Carmichael. So, and it was mixed by Larry Levan. Then we have Let's Go Another Round, which was mixed by T. Scott. Also, Live It Up was mixed by T. Scott, Pay Girl was mixed up by T. Scott, and then we have Make It Last Forever, which you might have known as Donna McGree, also covered that song very famously, and this was once again mixed by Larry Levan, and It's Wonderful, which was produced and arranged by Jocelyn Brown, and I think she also wrote that song, was mixed by Greg Carmichael and the legendary John Morales. The good thing about these records is they are tremendously cheap. You can get them between 5 to 15 euro. Like I said, this is the back, and you get fantastic music. Many tracks are still being remixed for new audiences because they are so tremendously good. So let's start with side A of the record. Let's go to side B of the record. The second album, Inner Life 2, came out in 1982, and it also included a hit single, which was called Moment of My Life. So pretty much everything they touched was tremendously good. But also at the beginning of the 80s, times were changing, dance music was changing, and everybody who was involved in this project were pretty much going to other projects. If you have the chance to find records from Jocelyn Brown like this one, which should ring a bell. This was a big hit in the mid-80s, Somebody Else's Guy. She wrote that song, she produced that song, she sang on that song, and it became a major hit. Jocelyn Brown is not getting nearly as much attention as she should have. She really was never having the real big breakthrough, which is a shame because she is so highly talented. I'm so glad that she's still around. So if you have the chance to find any of her recordings, give it a try. It's brilliant. And also Somebody Else's Guy. This album was sold like millions of times. You get it tremendously cheap. So that's it for this week's episode. I hopefully will be back by the end of next week when my plane hopefully landed safely here in Germany, and I do got all my records back home, which I can hardly wait for. I'm waiting for years to get one of the records I'm bringing home. So yeah, wish me luck because I hate it. But anyway, stay safe, stay healthy, listen to good music, maybe Inner Life, maybe Jocelyn Brown. You won't be disappointed. And once again, if you're into dance music, if you're into disco music, at least one of the records from Inner Life should be in your collection, at least in my opinion. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.